there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shelby and today I'm going to be doing a really fun video. I'm doing the Get to Know the Romance Reader book tag and I was tagged by Library of Tomes, so I will link her channel down below and thank you so much for tagging me. And this has 10 different questions just about my history of reading romance. I will leave all those questions down below and let's get right into it. The first question is, what is your romance origin story and how you came to read your first romance novel? And I started reading romance through Nicholas Sparks. That was what my mom purchased. She loved his books, and so I would kind of just read whatever she did and whatever she had left over, and that's how I read my first traditionally published romance. And I really loved his novels and how they emotionally impacted me. I know a lot of people don't like his books, but I really do. And then 5 years ago, I read one of my first independently published romance books, and that was The Impact of You by Kendall Ryan. So she was one of the first authors I read as an independent author, and I remember really liking it. I think it's a new adult romance. I don't remember the plot anymore, but I do remember really enjoying it. Question number 2 is, if you could be the heroine in a romance novel, who would be the author and what's one trope you'd insist be in the story? And if I wanted it to be a rom-com, I would definitely choose R.S. Gray because I think she writes rom-coms so well. And I love her enemies to lovers books, so I would want it to be an enemies to lovers story. And if I wanted it to be more serious, I would definitely choose Brittany C. Cherry because her stories impact me. Maybe a second chance romance? I don't know. I think those are probably 2 tropes I'd really enjoy and 2 authors I love. Question number 3 is, what is a romance you've read this year that you want more people to read? And that would definitely be Eleanor and Gray by Brittany C. Cherry. This is a second chance romance that is super emotional and it really impacted me on a deeper level. I don't hear enough people talking about it and I think everyone should read it. Another one is Hate Notes by V. Keelan and Penelope Ward. I just read this one and it's an amazing office enemies to lovers romance and I think everyone should read it. Question number 4 has 2 parts, and that is, what is your favorite romance subgenre and what subgenre have you not read much from? What I read the most of is contemporary, but subplots that I like among contemporary is going to be enemies to lovers, friends to lovers, second chance romances, office romances. I love so many under the contemporary umbrella, and I mostly just read contemporary. Ones I don't really read are going to be sci-fi, fantasy, and paranormal romances. I just like my romances to be grounded in reality, so those ones aren't really for me. I've read one historical and I enjoyed it. It was by Tessa Dare, but I don't read that one too often either. Question 5 is, who is one of your auto-buy romance authors? So for traditionally published, I really like K.A. Tucker. I like Christina Lauren. But then in terms of some independently published, I love Candy Steiner, Brittany C. Cherry, R.S. Gray. I'm forgetting some. And then there's so many that I just auto read through Kindle Unlimited and they're all so good. Question 6 is, how do you typically find romance recommendations? And I find a lot on YouTube as well as Goodreads. I actually find a bunch on Goodreads. I love a lot of Instagram accounts as well that post about romance. I think I find more of my recommendations through Goodreads and Instagram and maybe less through BookTube because I don't think enough people talk about romance. So I find most of my recommendations there. Question 7 is, what is a upcoming romance release you're excited for? I'm excited for 2 that are coming out in September. The first is Neat by Candy Steiner. It doesn't have a cover yet, but this is the second book in the Becker Brothers series. I read On the Rocks earlier this year and I really loved it. And then another one I'm excited for is the newest book from V. Keelan and Penelope Ward. I forget the title, but there already is a cover, and this is a office romance and I'm so excited for it. And then for traditionally published, I'm really excited for Twice in a Blue Moon by Christina Lauren. Question 8 is, what is one misconception about romance you would like to lay to rest? I think everyone I've watched this video about said the same exact thing, and I think that's people think that romance doesn't have literary merit, and then if it has sexy scenes in it, you're just reading porn, which I don't think is true. I think a lot of romance has really good writing, and I think sex sometimes is really necessary to create a believable romance. So I think it needs to be included to seem realistic and not just like a fairy tale. So I think that's something that I feel like people should change their mind about, is romance definitely is a valid genre. Question number 9 is, who is the most recent romance reading content creator you came across that you'd like to shout out? So on Instagram, I really love Bree Hill, and she's the one who actually created this tag, and I really think she should be shouted out because her content is so great. She has a blog and she talks about a lot of upcoming releases on Instagram. I really think she should make a YouTube account. I think that would be great. So if Bree, you're watching this, you should make a YouTube. I would love to see your videos. I'll link her down below because she is the original creator of this tag, so definitely go check her out. Question number 10 is, if someone had never read romance before and asked you to recommend the first 3 romances that came to mind as places to start, what would those recommendations be? Anything by Melanie Harlow, so the One and Only series. I love her books. They're so good. Those ones are steamy but not too steamy, so I don't think they would scare people away. And then I really think The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker is a must read. It is so much more than just a romance, and so I think people who are looking for a little bit more than just a romance would really enjoy this one. And then I really enjoyed recently Faking Miss Right by Claire Kingsley. This is a really fun fake engagement romance with a lot of good banter. And again, it's steamy but not overly so I think a lot of people would really like this one. So those are all the answers to this tag. I don't know who's done this tag already, so I'm not going to tag anyone in particular, but if you're watching this and you want to do it, I say go for it. So I will leave all these questions down below. I will link the original creator Brie down below as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on my next one. Bye.